Mr. Mumble, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. You are one of the people at the forefront of Mayor Ria's campaign to be the president of SAFA. Can you please explain to us what are your reasons for supporting her and what do you hope she will achieve as the president of SAFA?
Well, you heard it today from her, from herself, where she wants to take football to back to the LFA level and to the regions and focus the football development that must take place in the regions around the country and also in all of the local football associations. So I think that is a very good initiative, is to refocus the attention of the National Association onto providing support for those at the grassroots level where the football really is taking place and where we must get our talent from. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason that she raised was the issue of financial stability and expanding the horizons of SAFA commercially speaking. And I think that's a good initiative, or a great initiative as a matter of fact, because she has mentioned the fact that the local football associations are suffering because there's no direct sponsorship for them to do the things that they need to do. Yet everything that happens in South African football emanates from that local football association level. So we need to provide the LFAs and the clubs that support that they need. And what I heard here today, she's done very well at articulating that. Women's football is another issue that we all must take more seriously. And the fact that the South African Football Association has now removed the Women's Committee from the statutes, it makes it more difficult for the message of women to be heard, or the voices of women to be heard. You can't remove and put women's football now, or the women's issue in football, under a competitions committee with a very narrow focus. There's a whole lot more issues around women's football that need to be addressed other than just playing leagues and competitions, whether it is gender-related issues and whether it is development in other areas like administration development and in a number of different areas that I think women need to be developed. Women's coaches and women's referees that need to be developed. So it's not just a matter of putting women's football or the women's issue under a competitions committee. It's too narrow. So we need to broaden the focus of women in football.
Last one, Mr. Mumble. You've been involved in football for a long time. She's been involved in football for a long time, and at SAFA for that matter. Why do you think she was unable, including yourself, were you guys unable to make these changes to bring improvements to the organization while you were inside? And why do you think it can only be possible through her being president?
Well, as she has also said here today, when you are in an organization, you are a part of a team. And you do what that team decides to do. You don't go out on your own and go and undermine the team itself. So while you are inside the organization, you raise your issues inside the organization. She said she has done that inside. I have previously said at length that what I have done inside to try and change, and at some point you have to take a decision that you must now do something differently. But you don't go and undermine the team when you are there inside. As much as you raise your issues and you differ with them on a number of different issues, which is what I think both of us have done over the years. But now it's time to take a different path. It is time for me, I decided at some point it's better for me to step outside than to continue to fight that fight inside, because there have been many fights. She has also said the same thing, that when you are in an organization where the majority decides, you have to go along with it. Whether you like it or not, you have to go along with it, provided that what is happening is actually legal. So the principle of legality, I think, is uppermost here. But when you're an organization person, you have to abide by what the majority says, provided that whatever it is that they decide actually pass the test of legality.